Hey everybody, in today's video I'm showing you how to make my triple chocolate protein pancakes. Now these actually remind me of a sort of fudgy, healthy brownie. The good news though is that they're low in calories, they're high in protein, and they're really easy to make. So let's get started.
I'm getting tired. We could have breakfast, counting your freckles, close to the west coast. How about that? Why don't we just get a place to...
So before I show you how to make the pancakes, I wanted to give you a few tips about the ingredients. Now first of all, I am using egg whites in this recipe instead of egg yolks. What that does is it keeps the calories in these pancakes really low, but it keeps the protein high. So I know some of you don't like throwing away your yolks, but in this recipe we're just going to be using the whites. The other thing is that I'm using some pumpkin to make these pancakes. Now, you know, if you're in a rush, you can totally just double the amount of banana and skip the pumpkin, but the pumpkin is actually what gives these pancakes the fudgy sort of gooiness. So I really think it's worth prepping some pumpkin if you want to try this recipe. Now if you're not somebody who regularly works with pumpkin, it's actually really easy to prepare. You can bake a whole bunch of it in bulk and then just put it in the fridge for later. And if you want an even faster way, what I do most weeks is I actually just chop up a whole bunch, put it in a steamer on the stove and cook it for about 10 minutes. So it's not actually that hard to prepare. And then you can put it in the fridge and use it for things like protein pancakes, or you know, just quickly to throw in meals like Buddha bowls and that sort of thing. Now the other thing I wanted to do was just run you through the chocolate ingredients in these protein pancakes, because after all they are the triple chocolate protein pancakes. So we're going to use 3 things to add to the chocolatiness of these pancakes. The first thing is some chocolate protein powder. Now this is the chocolate protein powder that I'm going to be using, but you can use any chocolate protein that you want. Just bear in mind that different proteins cook a little bit differently. So vegan proteins can sometimes take a little bit longer to cook through than like a whey protein. The second chocolate ingredient we're going to be using is this organic cacao powder. Now this is different than the baking cocoa in the supermarkets. This is usually in the health food aisle, or you'll get it in like a lot of organic stores and vitamin shops. And the third chocolate ingredient is going to be this dark chocolate, and I'm going to break this up and put it through the pancakes as they cook. So on that note, let me show you how to make them. So the first thing I do is separate the yolks and the egg whites. I'm using 2 egg whites in this recipe. Then I add in the cooked pumpkin and banana. And then I blend it all together using a stick mixer. Now you could throw this in a NutriBullet or whatever other blender you have as well, but I like using the stick mixer because it's fast and it's easy to clean up. And then I also blend in the oatmeal because that gives these pancakes a nicer texture, but you can just stir in the oatmeal if you want. And then I add in the cacao powder and the protein powder. And I stir everything together just to get rid of all the lumps. Now I cook these in a non-stick skillet on medium to low heat, because the pumpkin adds quite a bit of moisture. You want to make sure you don't have the heat up too high or they'll burn before they cook through. I break up the dark chocolate and I add it in just before I'm ready to flip them. And a little trick that I have is to come in with a spatula and sink the chocolate down into the pancakes. And what that does is it just keeps the chocolate a little bit runnier, so it doesn't totally cook through when you flip the pancakes, and it just makes these pancakes a little bit yummier. And you have to be really careful when you flip these because they're super soft. Don't flip them too early or they'll break on you. And then just let them cook through on that side, and that's it. Yep, these are so good. If you try these, I promise you're absolutely gonna love them, and it's gonna become a regular recipe for you. One thing I do which makes these extra nice is I do melt a little bit of extra chocolate on top, and sometimes I'll slice up some banana on them as well. So definitely give this recipe a go. If you are a client, you'll have the full ingredient list and instructions in your recipe book. And if you're not a client, I'm going to leave the ingredients in the description of this video so you can make it for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.